Yo, what up guys? Welcome back to Sneaker Stories. As always, I'm your host Chris Jack. Today, a rather special one for me as I've been waiting well over a month for these CoJP Air Jordan 3s to arrive from StockX. Obviously picked up the general release version as well, so in today's video, just going to be doing a comparison for you guys as well as an on foot. So without further ado, let's check them out. Alright, so as we've seen with a couple of releases happening out of Tokyo for this year, all originally planned to release around the Tokyo Olympic Games, which was obviously postponed until next year. However, Nike came through and dropped the shoes anyway. Many of these were Japan exclusives, which made it rather difficult to get specific product like the Kith Air Force 1 coinciding with the launch of their new store there. And there's been one or two others, obviously the CoJP ones, which did see a general release without the special or box edition. We have reviewed this as well, so you can go and watch that on the review playlist here on Sneaker Stories if you want to see more about this. But the same thing pretty much happened with the CoJP 3s over here. There was a special edition for Tokyo and a special edition but released globally here as well as South Africa. Of course, that's how I have them. So I'm going to start off with the special pair. It's not very different to what you get. In fact, it's very similar, pretty much the same as what you get on the general release one. This particular pair released, I think, on the 8th of August, obviously last month. I bought them same day of StockX. The prices were relatively low, just over retail in fact, so it wasn't too bad apart from the import duties and customs and all of that stuff I had to pay to get these here. But honestly, when I saw the giveaway of the CoJP part, which is obviously this beautiful heel tab over here, it was love at first sight for me. I got to spend a lot of time in Japan last year and the year before that, so it was an immediate connection for me. I knew that I absolutely had to have this version, even if there was a general release version coming as well. Now, from speaking to guys I know out in Tokyo side, the reason these didn't really do too well or aren't really pumping high on resale values is because there were quite a few of them made, not like massive amounts, not nearly as much as how many of these were made. However, the Japanese, from what I understand, don't really like anything with kanji writing on it, which you can obviously see in the heel. It's a little bit cheesy, I guess, to them, but obviously for those of us who aren't Japanese, perhaps, that is a pretty cool thing and something that I desperately wanted. As you can see, got the t-shirt as well. I just really like it. Now, I guess to get into the shoes themselves, I'm going to use this version, and literally when I tell you that these shoes are absolutely identical apart from two branding details on it, they literally are. So starting underneath with the outsole, you've got a predominantly white outsole, standard Air Jordan 3 outsole, the red Nike logo, and then towards the forefoot you've got a black section here as well. Flipping into the midsole, majority of this is also white. However, towards the heel you have got a black painted section there, and obviously same on both pairs. And from a bubble coloration perspective, both of these are white. Now, moving into the upper of the shoe, this is something that is absolutely incredible for me. It's a beautiful iteration of tumbled leather that they've used throughout the upper of the shoe. That's obviously done in a white. It's pretty much identical quality on both pairs. I'm pretty sure these were made in the same factory, at least from the same materials. There's nothing like remotely different about the quality of it. And obviously, as this is a denim colorway, which obviously pays homage to Japan's salvage denim culture and just, I guess, the creation of that. The elephant print here in the toe box and the eyelet section and heel of the shoe are done in this sort of indigo color, and also kind of a denim fabric on here as well. One thing that's interesting to note is that with this particular kind of material, it's not that usual either leather or suede option. The material has been tucked in over itself towards the linings of it and stitched in there, so you do have a couple of places where there are a little bit of hard edges, like just in the corners of that, but it's not something that's noticeable to me personally. I absolutely love the texture and finish of this denim version on the shoe. From a coloration perspective, it works really nice. It might just be my opinion on the colors, but with the hits of red that you get around the heel section here, with that perforated leather, it just kind of all works together for me. Now, provided with the shoe, only one set of flat white laces, and that's over this perforated tongue over here. The lace eyelets over here are done in a fire red, and just further up there above that denim section, you've got white eyelets. Towards the top of the tongue, you've got the Jumpman logo, which is done in a red embroidery. And this is one thing that I thought that they could possibly have just done different on the CoJP pair, just to like take it that much further as a Japan exclusive. When I just show you them sort of side by side from the front, I mean, you don't really know that you've got the exclusive or whatever until actually turning them around into the heels. Now in the heel section of the shoes, and we've seen this on a couple of different pairs now with the use of a translucent heel tab. With the Japan exclusive, they've gone with the kanji Nike Air logo, which is obviously the standalone feature on this, which really sets them apart from the others, of course. And then you've got the Jumpman logo, which is just basically molded in on top of that, which is just done in a clear transparent coloring. And then just the air part underneath on the exterior is just painted on the outside with red paint. I did notice there are like 2 little spots here in the eye of the Air logo where it's not quite fully painted. That's a bit of a bummer from a quality control perspective, but yeah, it's neither here nor there. I mean, if I really wanted to, I could just touch that up myself. And then obviously on the general release version, you've just got the standard Nike Air logo. This painted version seems to be a little bit better on the GR version, which is a little upsetting now that I see that, but yeah, I guess that's just the way it goes. Now moving into the sock liner of the shoe, this is done in a predominant black. However, on the reverse of the tongue, you do have a red mesh there as well. Now one thing I do want to say on this particular Jordan 3, and in fact the last couple of 3s that have come out, those Chicago ones that were fully sort of red or red cement and the blue cement ones, all of these have been following the OG cut as far as I'm aware of the Air Jordan 3. So there's a lot less foam that goes into the tongue and the collar section of the shoe. That for me has created a bit of confusion with sizing. Here in South Africa, we don't get half sizes of Air Jordan 3s. This happens to be a half size UK 8.5 for me, which I could try the size difference between the two. I'm generally a UK 9. However, the last couple of pairs, like the UNCs over here, I ended up having to take a full size down just because the UK 9 of my true to size was a little bit too big for me. Having tried the UK 8.5 now, which came from the sneakers website, I can confidently say that the 8.5 does fit me a little bit bigger, so that is a half size down. However, at true to size with the UK 9 that I've got in the CoJP over here, they also seem to fit pretty decently as well. So I would probably still suggest going true to size with the Air Jordan 3s as they are right now, especially if you have a wider foot. However, if you do have a narrow foot like me, you might find that a half size down might fit you better. Now, as you might have caught me say earlier, there are 2 differences between the CoJP and the general release version. The second, of course, is the insole itself. So on this particular insole, you do have the Jumpman logo done on a flat white insole. With the CoJP, they're done in red as well. And then just on the general release pair, it's just the straight Nike Air logo. Pretty much identical insoles though, there's no change-ups between them. It's purely just branding. Now from a pricing perspective, the CoJP edition here was around $200, or the price tag on here is actually 21,500 Japanese yen. Really cool to have a Japanese price tag on this box, just knowing it like traveled all the way there to the States and then to Dubai and then here, and well, you know how it goes. But to talk about the general release version, which is probably the one I would probably suggest you go for, at least because it's available locally and there are still sub sizes available at certain places like Street Gym, maybe Archive, maybe check some other local retailers as well. But this particular pair landed here at 3,499 Rand. And I think from a resale perspective, I would definitely try and get your hands on a pair of these sooner rather than later, as these 3s and stuff, they generally like tend to go up a little bit later on, at least if they're not like incredibly hyped off the bat. But honestly speaking, if I hadn't had the CoJP version already on the way, I would have doubled up on this particular pairs. I honestly reckon out of all of the Jordan 3s that I do have, I think this is possibly my best colorway to date. Last but not least, just to show you the boxes, this is a special edition box. As you can tell, it's been completely redone here. You've got this beautiful spot varnished elephant print here, done in that sort of purpley indigo color. The Jumpman logo also done in a fire red on this white section of the box. And then when you open up the box, you've also got this incredible sort of waxy tissue paper over here with the elephant print on as well, which obviously the shoes are wrapped in. It's exactly the same as what you got on this particular one. I kind of expected this particular box to be a Japan exclusive and just a general Jordan 3 box, but as it is, they did the same for both pairs. The only other difference, I guess, would be on the labeling of this. Shout out Mo up in Dubai for letting me know what that actually stood for, or just confirming it. The CoJP version here has SE-T, so that stands for Special Edition Tokyo, and the general release just has the SE for Special Edition next to its name. But that's pretty much it for this quick comparison and review of the GR and the CoJP Air Jordan 3 Fire Red Denims. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you do have any further questions, as always, drop them in the comment section below. I'll do my best to get back to you as soon as possible. Otherwise, please do me the favor, give the video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe right here for more content, early unboxings and sneaker related content down the line. But that's all from me for today, guys. I'll catch you on the next one.